Hey, beautiful mamas. Today's message is for the mama who is struggling with gratitude right now. It is just the time of year where we get into thankfulness and gratefulness and talk about all of our blessings. And on the flip side, it's a time when the seasons want us to slow down, but society wants us to speed up and spend all of this time planning events and shopping and, you know, it's all about everything. We say it's all about just the family and it's all about buying stuff and being places and doing things and bucket lists and it can be a lot. It's a stressful time. I mean, it's a stressful time. Suicide rates go up this time of year. People start getting into financial struggles because of all the pressure to buy stuff and to give your kids a magical Christmas, and it can be really tough when it's supposed to be just so delightful and peaceful and joyful. I want to talk to the one who's really struggling to feel gratitude right now with everything else going on. Okay, I've been there. I feel it even creeping in my own life right now. Like it's like going up a roller coaster. I feel it all getting wound up, and I feel it winding up, and that's when it's time to do something before it gets too bad. It's the easiest time is to get ahead of it, be proactive. But I want to talk about gratitude because we hear about that all of the time. And when I was growing up, the only time we heard about gratitude and thankfulness, really, I mean, like we always said thank you. We were trained to have manners, but it really always came up at Thanksgiving. In schools, it would come up at Thanksgiving, and you have to think of, go put your name on a leaf and write down one thing you're thankful for and put it up on the thankful tree, the Thanksgiving tree, or on a turkey feather and put it on the turkey. Um, like you write down one thing you're grateful for. I always, always struggled to find something I was grateful for. Not because I was, what's the word? Like feeling entitled, like I deserve everything. I'm not grateful. I'm expecting it all. No. I struggled to find something to be grateful for because I was so afraid of people's judgment for what I would choose to be grateful for. I was afraid people would judge me for picking something so cliche, like, oh, I'm thankful for my family. Like everyone's thankful for their family. Or I was afraid they'd judge me for picking something trivial, which I use the example these days, my washing machine. It feels like such a trivial thing to say I'm thankful for, but how many, like we say laundry takes hours on hours right now, but how much longer would it take if you had to go down to the river and beat your clothes clean on rocks? Like having a washing machine saves me a lot of time, honestly. And if I can get into the gratitude for that, it makes doing laundry a lot easier. Okay, but there was a time where gratitude was not my go-to. I did not have an attitude of gratitude. I was very pessimistic in a lot of things. I thought I was just noticing what was, not perfect. I thought it was an attention to detail, but it was pessimism, and it really, turned my heart very hard. I struggled through depression for a really long time, and that's where I kind of realized that I cut myself off from gratitude. And I wonder if a lot of you listening, maybe have done the same thing. If you're struggling to feel gratitude and you're really just leaning more towards the stress and the anxiety and like the negative type of feelings right now, and you're not feeling so good, you're not feeling the gratefulness and the joy and the blessings and the peace. I want you to know gratitude, practicing gratitude. It is the bridge to go from the negative feelings, the pessimism, over to the positive and the optimistic feelings and the outlook. Gratitude is the way to change your mindset, and to shift your life. It's the way to change the way you're viewing your life. It's the way to change the thoughts that take up space in your mind. It is the way to change the way that you do everything, the way that you mother, the way that you take care of your home, the way that you show up at work and in your relationships. Gratitude is the way you're going to change the way you show up for yourself. It's going to change who you are. Um, and honestly, when you feel that click happen, it almost feels like your DNA has been changed. Like you change on this incredible level. And you can really tell when you start to kind of go back, when you start to kind of backslide and get back to those old feelings, and it feels really weird to backslide. Um, so I want to say gratitude. Let's talk about the definition of that. Because it seems like it's a buzzword, and maybe sometimes we get kind of confused about what it is gratitude, like in its simplest definition, it's a strong feeling of appreciation. Um, and it's, let's see, a strong feeling of appreciation. It's a quality of being thankful and a readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness. That's like Webster definition right there. Um, but there's also three different types of gratitude, um, as categorized by psychologists. Okay, gratitude is broken into three different categorical types, which is an affective trait, which means some people have like a natural disposition towards gratitude. That's like an attitude of gratitude where you have this optimism and you're going to go through life looking for all the good things, and you have this knack for noticing the positive things and finding the silver lining and all that. Um, the second is it's a mood, which can be a daily fluctuation of overall gratitude. And the third, it's an emotion, which is a more temporary feeling of gratitude that you might feel it after receiving a gift, or after something really good happens, after someone does something for you. It's an appreciation, um, that sort of gratitude. So there is a lot of like science behind gratitude and all that, but I kind of want to keep things short today. Um, so I mentioned you can cut yourself off from gratitude. If you're having a really hard time feeling all those positive, good feelings right now, it might be that there's something else going on in your life, something else going on in your mind, in your heart, just something you don't want to confront, something you're trying to distract yourself from, maybe. And you've been trying to numb yourself out to these negative feelings that have been coming in or trying to come in. And the thing is, when you cut yourself off from the negative and you try to numb yourself out, oftentimes we end up numbing out the positive stuff more than we do the negative. Okay, I did that for a really long time in my life. That was my natural go-to for depression. Like my coping mechanism was to just numb. And after years of that, I noticed I can still feel sad a lot easier than I can feel happy. I could feel the negative emotions better and easier than I could the positive. And I never wanted to numb out the positive, of course. I wanted to numb out the negative. So it's kind of it's a plan that backfires. And I know it's not an intentional plan, really, not typically. It's going to be something subconscious. But we do it. And so maybe there's a lot of stress coming up right now this time of year, and you're trying to numb out the stress, but you're actually numbing out your capability of feeling gratitude right now. There may be something you need to confront in your life. And I would recommend doing maybe some breath work, some meditation, some somatic exercises, EFT, do tapping, or just journal through it, go for a walk and reflect on it, pray on it. Um, Whatever it is that like really kind of helps you stir up the feelings, and get that good cry in that you really need, that release of what has been stored up. Um, and helps you to confront what it is that you're trying to run away from. I recommend you doing that before you even bother trying to get to gratitude, because if you're numbing it out, you're going to feel like you're hitting your head on a wall trying to feel gratitude when you've done a really good job of severing that connection. Okay. But I do want to tell you, there is a journaling practice that really does help open up gratitude. And especially if you're in a season where it's easier to feel the negative feelings than it is the positive, and you're just, you've made the gratitude lists and you're just having a hard time feeling anything about it. This one exercise really does help. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, and do this for me. Do this for you. Um, First, I want you to pick between 1 and 3 things that you can be grateful for. 1 and 3 things that are positive in your life. Um, 1 to 3 things that are just good things that have happened, good things that are around you, things that make your life easier or better in some way. Choose 1 to 3. Okay. And then next, I want you to envision life without them. And I want you to walk through an entire day. If you woke up tomorrow and you didn't have what you just listed or who you just listed, what would that day look like? What, how would life be more difficult? How would it be more sad? Tap into those, let yourself walk through that day without. Um, and I don't mean like if you listed your kid, imagine a day at a vacation without your kid. No, I'm picturing, imagine you're not going to see your kid again. It should be painful. This should stir up feelings. Okay. And if you're more in tune with the negative feelings, you should be able to really feel this. Let yourself feel it for a minute. Okay. Breathe through it, big breaths. Okay. The third thing you do, because you haven't lost this thing that's in your life that you've chosen to be grateful for. How is your life better because of what's on your short list? Okay. Go through thinking about everything that happens in your day. How is your day easier? How is your day better? How is your life more full? What kind of positive feelings do you get from this thing or person or whatever that's on your list? Okay. Those 3 steps right there of that journaling process. If you do this in some quiet space and you let yourself feel the feelings, it's going to activate gratitude there. All right. And sometimes it's like you have to turn off the light in order to see the light. Um, like if you're accustomed to the darkness, the you turn the light on, it's gonna be a lot more brightening, it's gonna have a bigger effect in the opposite. It's kind of like when you go to a jeweler and you're looking at some diamond rings, they will put it on a black velvet. Okay. The reason they do that is because the diamond shines brighter against the black backdrop. All right. We're doing this with your emotions in this gratitude exercise. Okay. You're going to put that gratitude against negative feelings. All right. It's going to make that positivity shine brighter and it's going to help activate that feeling in your heart. Okay. Because that's what we really want when we're practicing gratitude. We don't just want to reluctantly say something we're grateful for and not feel anything about it. You know, we're not just we're not just filling a list of things we're grateful for. We're not just marking something off of a checklist. All right. We want to feel gratitude. We want to feel good and feel happy and feel whole and feel like our life has purpose and meaning. Gratitude is so the bridge to this. It's the bridge to the peace and the ease and the joy that you can feel this season. Okay. So if you have to do this gratitude practice every day, go through something, do 30 days of this gratitude practice and pick something new every single day that you can be grateful for and really, really get comfortable with this feeling of appreciation, of knowing what it would feel like without so that you can feel just so lit up for what you do have right now. Okay. I love you, my friend. I know the holidays can feel so hard and so overwhelming and so stressful. I know you have a million things to do. And I hate adding more to your plate by telling you to do this practice, but it is going to make everything else easier. It's going to help you see what's really important and it's going to help you be really intentional with your decisions. Gratitude changes things. It really does make life easier. It puts on those rose-colored glasses so that when chaos strikes and when things don't go right, you can train yourself to start seeing what is going right, Even when it feels like everything's falling apart, if you can train yourself to see that silver lining, it makes it easier. It really does. Okay. I love you, my friend. Have happy holidays.
Are you feeling totally buried in responsibility and burnt out on showing up? Been there, and I created this totally free bundle of resources for you. You have to get the Get Started Guide if you haven't already. If you're ready to strip off the unnecessary baggage and limiting beliefs you've been carrying around, if you're so done making things more difficult than they need to be, if you're ready for guilt-free rest and enjoyment in your life, you need the Get Started Guide. This instant download is full of my favorite resources: the Mindset Makeover, the Stress Less Toolkit, and my super trendy and adorable kitchen templates to make meals and groceries a little bit simpler and a whole lot prettier. The Get Started Guide is made up of tools and practices to help you cope with stress and anxiety. And because so much of your happiness is determined by your mindset, this instant download is what you need to start thinking about the way that you think, so you can overcome what's overwhelming you, take control of your days, and love the life you've got. Get your free download of the Get Started Guide today and get started loving your life. Find it in the description below